Good evening, everybody, and welcome to FishTec Live. We're streaming live. We've got something really exciting tonight. I know I put an advert up earlier. It's something we're doing for the first time. It's a who, what, where, how, and all that type of thing that everyone has questions. And we've got Matthee and Glen Naude, who won the tournament, the SABAA Team tournament that was held at Albert Falls this last weekend. And as you guys know, some phenomenal bags came out. It was one of those things I'm sure that these guys will remember for the rest of their lives. I'm just going to do a quick check on our FishTec Live page to make sure everything's working right. I just want to click on the video. Guys, I hope you guys are ready to ask some questions. I have a couple of questions, obviously, but it's going to be up to you guys to tell us exactly what's going on. Guys, I'm not seeing the video. Are you guys seeing the video on your side? Let's see. Yes, there we go. There it is. Okay. Something went a bit strange here. I just want to see the chats so that we can talk to everybody. Okay, we've already got 24 people on. Right, let's get going. I hope you guys can hear. If anybody picks up an audio issue, please let us know. But without any further ado, let's welcome Matthee and Glen Naude. Welcome, guys, and thank you so much for joining FishTec Live this evening.
A pleasure, John. Nice to be with you guys. Guys, good evening. Please ask questions. Don't be shy.
Fantastic, fantastic. Guys, let's dive straight in. First of all, let's find out a little bit about you guys. How long have you guys been fishing together? Michael, I know a lot of people know you extremely well. The KZN boys know you, everybody knows you, but your team, you and Glen, how did that sort of come together? When did that come together?
So we've been fishing since high school days. We've been mates since high school. We've always been a team, and yeah, we've fished each other probably 15, 20 years. Yeah, that's about it. The competition fishing has been only past maybe 8 to 10 years that we've been hitting the competitive scene together.
See, for serious. Now, did you guys both come from carp? Or what was the history there
we basically come from all facets: deep sea, carp, bass, purpose fishing, you name it, we catch it.
Okay. So, yeah, no, awesome. Okay. Now, let's dive into the tournament. Okay. The first question that's on everybody's mind has to be, did you guys pre-fish? Did you get an opportunity to pre-fish Albert Falls?
Unfortunately, we didn't get down there. We decided we fished the lake probably about 6 years ago, and we just decided to wing it. We normally perform better when we just think out the box, and that's what we did, and we came right.
Jeez, that is insane. Absolutely insane. That is fantastic. Glen, I've got to apologize. The little bar I put at the bottom of the screen, I had a typo. I left out the L. My apologies. So, for all means and purposes, you're Glen Naude.
No problem.
Sorry, Glen. I'll turn that off, and it's too late for me to edit it now. But yeah, okay. So you guys didn't pre-fish at all. So from a planning perspective, like you said, you guys just basically winged it.
Yeah. So basically, let me tell you, it's quite tough. Our first keeper only came on day one at about 10 o'clock, and that's when we started getting the ball to roll.
Yeah.
We started deep, shallow. We did all of it until we kind of put a pattern together. On Saturday around 12 o'clock, we started putting things together. Another thing is this time of year, fish are moving around a lot, so I don't think practice is always the key. Sort of this time of the year, you know, if it's late summer or middle of winter, then your fishing normally is stable, you know. This time of year, fish move around a lot.
Yes, yes. Well, that's interesting. So what you're saying is, in this case, for this particular tournament, that pre-fishing and pre-perception you had of what you were going to do could have actually played against you in a way.
I think it did, and I think it hurt some teams as well. Yeah, basically, we just went with the book, you know. We just started fishing book-like things and tried to make a pattern from there.
Jeez. But you still got a respectable bag on day one.
Yeah, and
so I think the key on day one was just getting over the nerves in the morning and getting over everything. And then once we'd moved on and started focusing, and myself and Mike, we don't generally fish in crowds, as anybody, well, most people would know. We don't like the whole crowded thing. So once there were a lot of guys on the ridge, we did go and try it out. However, it's not our thing. So we started moving away from the crowds and found better success regarding that. So the water wasn't as pressured as what the ridge was and all the other areas were.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that helped us in a way, that the mindset of just get away. We're either going to win or lose. That's it. We're either going to win that good, or we're going to lose horribly.
So you basically had it all on the table.
Well, that's it.
Everything to win or lose.
And that's what you need to do. You're going out, excuse the language, balls to the wall.
That's it. Yeah. Give it all. Give it all. No, that's absolutely fantastic. Now, Michael, you sent me a screenshot of some satellite imagery just off your phone, and you showed me 2 spots. Now, the one spot, let me put that up on the screen. Now, it's going to be a little bit delayed, so you're not going to see it immediately. I don't know how long it's going to take for you to see it. Just give a shout if you can see it on
Okay, yeah, we can see it.
Okay, now this is that section on the north side of the ridge going to that sort of plantation area. Was this on day 1 or day 2 that you concentrated on this area?
This was later, day 1.
Okay.
So we kind of came up with a depth and a sort of near point.
Right.
And yeah, then we started scratching around. We started putting things together, and we bumped this point. And Glen got a good 3 kilo fish, and from there we kept on rotating the 2 areas. We just left the one for an hour, came back to the next one, and just our timing was luck, you know. I mean, sometimes things are on your side, you know, God's on your side and whatnot, and our timing was perfect. Every time we bumped one of the 2 areas, we'd get a good fish, and we'd fish it for 45 minutes, hour, and leave and go to the next area.
That's incredible, eh? You know, this particular spot that you've pointed out here with these little arrows, I don't know if you can see it on the screen yet.
Yeah, we got it.
I remember a few years back, Carl Goodsight. It was one of those, remember the Bass Equalizer Tournament Trail? I don't know if you remember that. And it was a final, and I think it was about 10 o'clock, 10:30. And I heard somebody talking to Carl on the water, and said to him, "How's your fishing?" And he said, "We don't even have a keeper on the boat. But boys, watch out for 1 o'clock. And let me tell you, 1 o'clock, a light breeze came up, and he started cranking this with deep diving cranks. And that was the end of the tournament. He won the whole thing.
Yeah, so our situation is pretty similar. The wind picked up, and yeah, if you can see those areas, you know, I think basically just a shallow hump with vegetation, and that's all those little blind points you see there.
Yeah.
Just had a little isolated patches of grass, and those bigger fish were just keying on that bait fish that were there. And ironically, on day 1 at about lunchtime, we caught a redbreast on a chatterbait.
Okay.
And that was our hottest spot. That screenshot that you got now, we found redbreast there, and they were spawning, obviously. And I think those bigger bass were targeting those redbreasts on those flats, on those little humps.
So, yeah, you know, this is something that comes up very often. I don't know if you've read any of Rick Glen's articles where he does this whole... He's not a big fan of technology. I'm sure you know that. He's a fish intuition guy. He believes you must just go heart and soul and what in your gut, you know. And as you know, he's had a fantastic career out of doing that. So, you know, a lot of us, I mean, you guys know me, it's all about electronics, it's all about the gadgets, all about everything. But how much did your electronics actually come into your whole game plan on Friday and Saturday? I mean, you obviously got Hummingbird units. If I'm right, you've got a Mega 360 on your boat.
Yeah, so basically the 360 was key for us because we found those isolated patches and we could target them dead on, you know. And then the other thing that really helped us is we got a map from Bass.co Google map, you know.
Okay.
And basically we used that a lot as well to try and find the same sort of bottoms to replicate that, you know.
Yes. And Tommy, did you guys, you've obviously got Hummingbirds. Did you have the Lake Master Albert Falls chart?
No, we didn't have that. We just had a Google Earth map, and that's what we used.
And you just used the Google Earth. I've put the Lake Master chart up on the screen at the moment. This is what Hummingbirds got for Albert Falls. And I know you guys didn't use it, but I think it's a great opportunity just to say to some of the guys that are watching this, is that your Hummingbird has a phenomenal feature where you can adjust the depth of the dam. So in your case, I think the dam was around 50%. Is that correct? Over the week? And with the Hummingbird, well, that equates to 24 feet down. You can just go into the unit and just turn down 24 feet.
Yeah, you can highlight the depths. Yeah, I've got that when I fish in America, you highlight the depths. It's amazing. Yes. It's an awesome feature.
What an unbelievable tool. I must be honest, I really wish that we had that. That makes me really, really jealous that you guys have got that and the Lawrence units don't. But I'm looking at that. This was your north of the ridge spot. I don't know if it's come up on your screen yet.
Yeah.
And you know, that area that you drew out that you were targeting, I mean, look what a phenomenal spot you were on from a cartography perspective, you know, from a contour chart. You had the deeper water there, you had the channel there, you had everything, which is absolutely phenomenal. It was a fantastic choice, honestly.
Yeah, and like I said, we just bumped onto it. We didn't plan for it at all. Yeah, based on what we were fishing pretty fast bait, so we searched quite a lot. You know, we also hit a lot of water that was not productive.
Yeah.
And with our lures, we could feel if the bottom was right, believe it or not. But we were so zoned in that we could literally feel the bottom and know straight away if it was a fishy area or not.
Sure. And while we're talking about that, what were your main baits that you were using?
So our key baits were chatterbaits and a rattle trap. But I think the ultimate key was, you know, we were out casting. The new rods that we're fishing are phenomenal. Literally, we're casting 80, 90 meters with our rattle traps and chatterbaits, and, you know, getting the proper depth and reaching the bottoms and knocking the bottoms out, you know.
Right.
And the sensitivity on the rods also was totally key.
And you guys use those FX rods, am I right?
Yes, correct.
Okay, I've put that as a thing on the bottom of the screen there. Yeah, man, it's fantastic. You know, it's so important for you guys to get your sponsors' names out there. I know in South Africa, your average sponsor can't give you a dump truck of money like they do in the States. But you know, I believe that we've got to start somewhere, and you've got to get the sponsors to have confidence in their pro staff, saying, you know, these guys are doing it. Their names out there and our names out there. And I can tell you from a pro staff perspective, it's hard in South Africa, but I'm very fortunate. I've got some incredible pro staff. They really make an effort. But what is your take on sponsorship exposure outside of the tournament himself? I'm talking about the guy that doesn't pitch up to Albert Falls, doesn't come and watch you guys. He's waiting for something on social media or something like that. I mean, what is your take on how to get exposure to that guy?
Well, obviously, we're just trying to push the brand and stuff for our sponsors to get exposure and whatnot. And you've got to give a little to receive a little, you know. So the more you give, the better you're going to get back, you know.
Exactly.
And, you know, and Yeah, Glen.
So he's also involved in the flow tubers and all of that as well. So the FX, we're pushing in all sorts of facets in all directions. However, sponsorship in our country versus any US sponsor, there's no comparison whatsoever.
Exactly.
You must understand it's a job that side, and that side is not really a job.
No.
Which I think people, when it comes to a sponsorship, are a little bit misled.
Yeah.
So they want everything and don't give a hell of a lot back, so to say.
Yeah.
So sponsorship at the end of the day, it comes down to a good agreement between the supplier and the end product at the end of the day with your anglers.
Yeah.
The way we're doing it is a little bit different, getting on the water, showing people what it can do.
Yeah.
Getting involved in regardless. So when it comes to sponsors, it's very difficult in SA. There's not a lot of ton of money. You said it. There's not a lot of ton of money to throw down, especially to anglers and things like that, where it's not a professional sport and not getting a lot of exposure. So I think at the end of the day, what you're doing now, John, as well, is you're doing a very good thing in regards to getting exposure on Facebook, getting people involved. We'd like to give you a big thank you in regards to that you do a hell of a lot for the sport, and there's very little recognition at the end of the day.
No, thank you very much for that. I really do appreciate it. And you've got no idea how many people phoned me and messaged me today, and they were so excited about this thing tonight. And they were like, what type of information can we expect? You've got no idea how hungry people are to hear from guys like yourself, especially an achievement like what you had over the weekend. While we're talking about achievement, can we just for a second, I just want to put this up on the screen because this just blows my mind. I just want to put these results. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's going to be quite small up on the screen.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I mean, there you guys are there. FX Custom Rods, Michael Matthee, Glen Naude from Gauteng, eBay. Day 1, 10.96, is it? I don't know, my eyes aren't so good.
Yeah.
10.95, something like that. I mean, anybody on an average day catches that in a tournament. Jeez, you are super, super stoked. But if you look down that list, how were those weights that came out on that first day?
No, unbelievable. There's a lot of big fish swimming around, John, at the moment, and Albert Falls is really fishing well. And the rumors we heard it was fishing tough, and I think it was tough for a couple of guys. But
it was.
Obviously, there's areas where there's some big fish around,
Yeah.
So, and when's the last time you heard of a 17-kilo bag? I've never witnessed that in my life. So
never. For me,
that what we did was phenomenal.
I promise you, I've only been around since about 2008 in the bass game, but I've never heard of that. That weight, that 17.5 is just ridiculous. When I first saw that, I thought, is that your combined weight? And then I thought, no, geez, you guys, I mean, you take your total weight for the weekend, you convert that into pounds, and you tell the guys in the States that's what you caught. They're going to be hopping on planes and coming here. You know what I mean? Because that is.
No, I understand, but I think it was also a bit of the perfect storm, weather-wise and time of the year and stuff like that, So our pattern just folded out 100%, and it makes so much sense with the time of the year,
Yeah.
And our fish were all post-spawn. I believe they were all post, and they were just filling up after doing their deed,
Yeah. Now, there's something else, before I forget about this. This tournament is a bag limit, 5 fish bag limit, teams, but you're both working together to get the 5 fish. It's not 10 fish, it's 5 fish between the two of you.
Yeah.
Now, normally, we have a big tournament, the Albert Falls tournament, which some people refer to as the Classic. I'm sure you've fished it a couple of times. It's a big fish tournament. Now, if you look at the screen that's up now, Team Fuchs, I forget the guy's name.
Johan Fuchs.
Johan, yes.
Johan, yes.
Let me see if I can bring it up on the screen here. I'm trying to find it now. I mean, if this was a big fish tournament, he would have won. He would have walked away with the boat. Sorry?
I'd say hands down, he won a big fish tournament, no problem.
Exactly. But if you look, no disrespect, please guys, don't get me wrong, but I want to point out what a massive achievement it is to achieve what you guys did over 2 days compared to a big fish tournament. And I honestly believe that anybody can bump into a big fish. I've seen the most amazing things. I've been at the Naude Classic, where the person who won it was asked what they caught it on, and they said a squiggly purple thing. I have no idea what it's called, and they walked away with the boat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, that is the perfect storm over a couple of seconds. But this last weekend, this combination of what you guys put together, honestly, I think it's just mind-boggling. I just want to see if there's any questions there. Clifton Bridge says, Robbie and Niels got a 17 kg bag at the FLW at Albert's before. Okay, I can't remember it, but awesome. I think he's talking about Robbie Olivier and Niels, what's his name? Bierneke. That's it. But again, you know, that's a great achievement. It's done like this now in a big tournament like this. So yeah, I just want to do, you know, before you guys go, I hope you don't mind me doing this. I just want to show you exactly, and I'm sure the guys want to see this too. I just want to merge this in here quickly. Can you guys see that? I don't know if it's up on the screen. I want to have a look at this northern part of the ridge here, you know, where you guys were actually fishing. Now, unfortunately for us to expose what's behind there, we have to do things a little bit more difficult. We know that the dam was down over 24 feet, so we've got to remove everything over 24, and then I think 12 feet was our sort of magic maximum limit. And if you see what gets exposed there, you know, where you guys were, it works out spot on. I don't know if you guys can see that yet up on your screen.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's exactly deja vu, exactly what we saw. That's exactly where your cursor is now, where we caught all the good fish.
Yes, you see. And the theory side, you know, the technical side, the guys that sit behind the computer screens looking at all the technical data, you know, it's just lining up. And if we go to, let's say, our aerial HD, this is what we do with the drone. There it is there. I mean, look at that detail there. I just want to show you. Now, obviously, you were seeing this on your screen, you know, with your Mega 360. But I just want to show you, if you had a drone up in the air, this is when the dam was at about 27%.
Wow. No. Sure.
Can you see that?
Yeah, that makes so much sense.
You know what I mean? You guys were on the spot, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And I mean, I just wish you guys had taken a screenshot, you know, and put the two together, you know, have the Mega 360 on the one side and then have this type of imagery on the other side, just to match it all up. Man, I think that could be absolutely phenomenal. Let me just put this back into here. Right, guys, I don't want to spend too much time on that. I want to tell everybody about your special. First of all, is there anything you guys wanted to add to this? Have I forgotten something?
I think the other thing that was key as well, there was the old grass line. If you could find the old grass line and isolated patches of that old grass line, that was key. I think the bait was hiding in the grass.
Yeah.
And if you could, and obviously depth was key, and the channel and everything like that. But I think one of the key things were isolated grass patches. I think that's the only thing we're missing. Other than that, I think we hit it on the head.
You know, it's funny that you said that, because in my live show on Saturday with Michael Cannon, he was fishing spurwing on those humps, and he said exactly the same thing. There's a lot of humps out there, but not all of them have got fish. If you found grass, a weed line on one of those humps, that was the money. That's where the fish were. And I mean,
we found, you know, if we brought our baits up and there was a little bit of, if it was green grass, it was golden. If it was black and brown, then it was, it's almost like that grass, it's like a hay grass. As long as it's green, it's got roots growing on it. That fish were holding in that.
Geez, that's interesting, eh? Man, that's interesting. Right, guys, tell us about your special that you're offering. I love your 17.5% discount, by the way.
Okay, so let me tell you, FX Rods South Africa are going to run a 24-hour special for FishTec. On the two main rods, we caught our fish on this weekend. There's a 7.1 and a 7.3. And, we're running 17.5% discount off the retail price. And, guys, please long on support us. Please support FX Rods South Africa. They're awesome rods. It's changed my fishing career. You can ask Glen. Glen, what do you think of the rods?
Amazing sticks, guys. Amazing sticks. You need definitely throw them. There's the right action for every lure. If you're out there, you're looking for the right thing, give them a swing. You won't be disappointed.
I think we've currently got something between 15 and 20 rods in our range, which a lot of our positions don't have. So we've got a rod to suit everyone.
Yeah. No, it sounds fantastic. It sounds like a fantastic product. We've got a question from Justy Farkafissa. He says he wants to know on your 360 what range you were running at that depth at which you were fishing. So obviously you guys were sitting a little bit slightly deeper. I don't know what your target depth was. If you could give us your target depth and what was the range on your 360.
So our target depth is between 7 and 9, well, let's say 10 foot.
Spot on.
And our range, I always set the range at about 90. It's when I get the clearest return, and I like to fish the green pallet.
Okay, so it's green pallet. What was the range again, sorry?
90.
90 feet, okay.
Yeah, and that's probably how much we're going to cost. Maybe a little bit further, but I mean, at least you can see what's coming up and whatnot.
You can see, no, fantastic. Guys, let me just switch this over to here. Let me merge that into there. Just to both of you, Michael and Glen, thank you very, very much, and a big congratulations. Hang on, wait, there's another question. This is from Victor Bridger. He says, what type of warranty comes with the FX rods?
So you'll have to speak to the FX South Africa. But it's, as far as I know, there's a 3-month guarantee on the blank. So if you pop the blank within 3 months, we replace it.
Right.
If not, then there's a replacement fee, which is about half of what the rod costs. And FX America replaces the rod at a cost, at $150.
Sure. Okay. There we go, Victor. You've got your answer. And that's it. Guys, as I was saying, Michael and Glen, thank you very much for taking the time this evening. And I'm sure the other guys will all appreciate it. We've been averaging about 50 viewers on this live feed, which might not sound like a lot, but I promise you that's great. That's fantastic. We normally average half of that at best. So the guys were definitely keen. This video will be saved to YouTube, and the HD version will be on there, and it will be shared on all the social media. And just to the two of you, congratulations and thank you very, very much.
Thanks, John. Just one last thing. Thanks to all the anglers out there. You are legends, and like guys like Scott Gordon. We wouldn't be today if it wasn't for you guys talking. Thank you, Justy. You know what, guys? Thank you very much for giving us the inspiration to actually be at the end of the day. It's all fished hard, and unfortunately, there has to be a winner at the end of the day. We didn't expect it. It happened. Thank you very much, guys.
Fantastic. Good evening, guys. Enjoy the rest of the evening with your families.
Thanks, John.
Pleasure. Cheers. And that's it, guys. I'm sure you guys will watch this video again and again on YouTube and try and listen to the little things in the background, what you might have missed, let's try and promote this type of thing, because when a team like this has such an incredible experience, and to share that in intimate detail, exactly where, depth, how, it's just so much fantastic information. So guys, from myself at FishTec, have a great evening, and thank you very much for participating and joining us this evening. Good night.